Hey folks, Craig Danger, vinyl record player. Hup! Just wanted to do basically a second edition of what was the most popular video that Craig Danger made all year long, actually. This one way blew out every other video that I did, made them all feel so inadequate, and maybe a little bit sad. That was my ranking the top 5 VC channels of 2022. I did that December 22nd. I published that. So now, be prepared for the top 7 VC channels of 2023. I'm going to recommend right now that you buckle up. Okay, so expanding this a little bit this year. Just because, I've been in the vinyl community for over a year now, and in fact, for coming on 15 months in the vinyl community. So I just thought that I'd expand this a little bit. Last year, I did obviously the top 5, included some other portions. This year, again, going to do a top 7, because again, there are more channels, and there are more high-quality vinyl community members than there ever have been, I believe. I believe that that's the case. So let's just go ahead right out of the gate. Let's talk about legends. Last year I talked about legends very briefly. This year I'm talking about them again. A legend from last year, of course. We got to talk about Mazzy, Norman Maslow, a man who usually puts up between 2 to 3 videos a week, every week, like clockwork, magnificent stuff. The gentleman knows photography, he knows storytelling, he knows music. Got one of the biggest collections in the VC, I'm sure, and always finds a way to talk about unique and fun records in kind of a very warm, kind of storytelling kind of sense. The man is more than vinyl community. He has, obviously, he's thousands of subscribers. He doesn't need my help in promoting his channel. But again, Mazzy, always a legend, and I will have him as my legend number 1 of this year, my number 2 legend of 2023 in the vinyl community. Last year was number 3 on my list, but this year I'm like, no, man's a legend. It's been too long to just say, well, he's competing. No, he no longer competes. No competing. This gentleman is, of course, well known in the vinyl community. If you've ever watched vinyl community videos, you undoubtedly know him. I, of course, am speaking of Vinyl Richie. Vinyl Richie, always, hey everybody, Vinyl Richie. Oh, love that. It's that classic intro. Always funny, always engaging. Dude likes punk rock, but he goes across genres, a little jazz, a little rock, a little funny story. This year, Craig Danger actually bought the first record that Vinyl Richie ever sold on Discogs. I didn't know it was him. Just came along and I was like, oh, I'll just buy this Grant Green record. Turned out that it was actually Vinyl Richie, and I had purchased his first Discog sale. So that was obviously wonderful. To purchase a record from a legend always feels a little bit better. Just a little bit. So again, all of these, every channel that I mentioned will be linked to in the comments. So please, if you're new to the vinyl community, just go to all of them. Subscribe to them all. You'll love it. You'll be happy. You'll come back and be, Craig Danger, best video you've made. At any rate, all of these, everyone I mentioned will be in the comments. So please check below. You know, subscribing is absolutely free to this channel. Certainly, I would invite you to please feel free to subscribe to Craig Danger Vinyl Record Player right now. But at any rate, we were talking about Vinyl Richie, legend. He's legend number 2 this year. Of course, I mentioned the legends last year, Norman Maslow, and of course, also this year, Vinyl Richie. Now, let us go on to best live streams. Now, I decided to divide this into 2 categories because obviously there are a lot of different live streams, but I'm talking about my favorites here. Again, it's a dangerous opinion. Again, it is just an opinion. So if you got a problem with it, well, leave something in the comment. So I've divided this into 2 categories: best morning stream and best nighttime stream. So of course, for best morning stream, if you're in the vinyl community, really there can only be one, and that of course is Rachel's Ghost, the TV show classically legendary show. It's on 7 days a week. Rachel is fantastic. She does one of the best shows on the web, and certainly I don't think there is a better daily vinyl community show. I'm not sure that there's a better daily YouTube stream out there, to be honest. It's always funny, always amusing. Great cast of characters, including obviously some of the VC legends. Some folks, even like Craig Danger, will show up on that show now and again. It just is what it is, but it's a fantastic way kind of to start your morning. I kind of consider it the Today Show of the vinyl community. And like I say, there's always some weird controversy or somebody's mad at somebody or rah, but it is actually a really, really great show. And Rachel just has a way. She can riff and riff. And, you know, sometimes it appears like there's nothing to talk about today, but Rachel can riff through a couple hours and you'd be like, wow, that was incredibly interesting. It's kind of a skill. So, best daytime stream of 2023. I mean, that's an easy one. Goes to Rachel at Rachel's Ghost. And, of course, producer Squoozy, the Wax, make it into really what is a legendary stream. Best nighttime stream, though. I got to. It is what it is. It's only on maybe once every 2 weeks, sometimes once every 3 weeks. But my favorite nighttime vinyl community stream of the year can only go to who? Doctor and the Kid. Of course, the Doctor and Ryan Kidd, two already excellent YouTubers on their own. They bring it together every couple of Saturdays. They do kind of I guess it would be like an Eastern time sort of evening. That on the Pacific side, which is Craig Danger. On the Pacific side, of course, they usually go between up until about 7 or 8. But what a great way to kind of start out your Saturday evening. They're jamming on great punk rock. I'm not even a punk rock person. They have irreverent conversations. Sometimes they'll have a beer or 15. Doesn't matter. It's a fantastic show. And like I say, I actually even went on the show once, which was kind of awesome. But great sort of peanut gallery there. If you're looking to basically kind of start out, get hyped for your Saturday evening, there's nothing really better than Doctor and the Kid. Craig Danger's best nighttime vinyl community stream of 2023. So again, check it out. It will be in the comments. You should subscribe. I hope to see you there on Saturday. I try to attend, at least for a little bit. Those guys are always fun, and they play amazing music kind of throughout the stream. Now, what you've all been waiting for, I know. Thousands upon thousands of you may have been waiting for this, I'm telling you. But we are talking about Craig Danger's top 7 vinyl community channels of what? Of 2023. So let's go. Coming in at number 7, always irreverent, always interesting, often strange. We can only be speaking of Moosh. Now Moosh, I'm not sure how I came across Moosh. She does a lot of sort of tier lists, some rankings. She's kind of all over the place. Sometimes she's reviewing a new album. Sometimes she's reviewing some classic rock stuff. But she's funny. She's clever. She's definitely weird. And there's definitely a lot of like strange editing stuff she's got going on all the time, which kind of kicks ass. It's weird and it's nerdy. Reminds me of a classic channel that I watch. More of a political channel called RM Brown, a little bit. She kind of has that sort of vibe to her. But always great opinions about music. Very easy to watch. There is elements of the jokes in there. And when it comes down to it, I love the music talk. But if you're a little bit funny, a little bit entertaining, maybe a little weird, I'm all about you. And Moosh, number 7 on my 7 best vinyl community channels of the year. So let's move on to number 6. Now, number 6, of course, this is more of a group effort. And this is something that I just started watching. This is longer content, friends. So if you're one of those folks that's like, if it's over 10 minutes, I'm not going to watch this. I don't have this time. I don't have this. If you don't have that time, then this is probably not the channel for you. But these guys always go deep, and they are the best. Well, not the best, the 6th best. I'm talking about Vinyl Community Gunkles. Number 6, always put out at least an hour show once a week. They're reviewing albums. They're talking about They're talking about like best tracks by an artist. They're talking about a variety of albums. They're talking about best albums of the year. It's all over the place, but it's always really good, really funny content. There's an amazing chem between all of the folks. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and name them. Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Again, one of the best Craigs in the vinyl community, and that's something, friends. I am completely and 1000% biased in favor of Craig's, but it's a great Craig. This is a great Craig. You got to know him. Of course, then we're talking about Robert Pithen. Of course, many people know him from the VC. A lot of subscribers. That gentleman has been doing this actually for a good amount of time. Richard from Calvin Wazoo, classic stuff. Mike from Hub Tunes, really, really good channel. He's into a lot of rock and a lot of great stuff. This is a fantastic channel and certainly one that everybody should be watching. Usually they'll come out with a video every Sunday. And like I say, it's about an hour, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever they're doing. But the discussion is always fantastic. And again, it's about the music, I believe someone once said. And they know their stuff actually quite well. So that is number 6. Number 5. Again, he was on my top 5 last year. Still going strong. Malcolm, also known as the Vinyl Monkey, legendary guy, still doing a bunch of, still doing ranking videos, still doing, I believe he just did something, a ranking of the songs of Van Morrison, bunch of album rankings this year. Really great stuff. Guy really knows his music. And as I said last year, he's not just pulling these best of the years out of like magazines and saying, yeah, he's got just I wouldn't call it a wildly eclectic taste, but he does have, every once in a while, you'll see his top 5 or his top 7 or top 10 for the year, and you'll just be like, oh, what is that? Always a little bit of a nugget there that you can pick up, maybe a record that you've never even heard of, and he is delivering it. Again, Malcolm from Vinyl Monkey makes my number 5 this year in the top 7 Vinyl Community Channels of the year. Let's go to number 4. Gotta be Lawrence. Lawrence, the Mellow Man. And you know what? Always a gentleman. Great stuff. He does needle drops. Does a lot of soul. He does a lot of funk. He does some Latin. He does African stuff. Fantastic stuff. Always real sort of smooth delivery. As, you know, an enjoyer of soul and funk, this gentleman knows smooth, and he knows it well. And yeah, like I say, there was a couple of picks that I kind of got through watching him over the year, but the best one, of course, was an album by J.R. Bailey, which I never was completely off my radar, from about 74, and woo, it was a great pick. Thank you very much for that, Lawrence. But again, subscribe to him if you are looking for more like funk, reggae, soul, rock steady, Latin. He is always doing, but what's more, he will typically throw down a needle drop in his video, so you kind of get a little taste of these records, which is always educational. Lawrence, the Mellow Man, number 4, 2023's best vinyl community channels. And now, of course, we go to number 3. And number 3 is, well, you know what, I had kind of heard of this channel before, but I didn't really know it that well. And then kind of mid-year, I kind of checked it out. I am, of course, talking about As It Should Be. And the As It Should Be Studios, of course, Paul Bertolino, kind of the key player on that channel. But at number 3, I'm bringing these guys in at number 3 because, of course, when you get the Bertolino, Durant, Von Voigt triad, it is video magic, friends. Absolute magic. What blew me away about these guys was basically they are doing rankings, right? Except they started in 58 doing the top 10 singles of the year, where basically each DJ Crystal Clear, Crystal Durant, Paul Bertolino, Tommy Von Voigt, each of them come up with 10 singles of the year. They started doing that in 58. They went all the way up to 2000s, and then they did, I think, an additional 1 or 2 videos for the 2000s. Just insane amount of work ranking basically singles from basically 58 to 2000. That's an incredible amount of work. each of these shows is between about, I would say, 45 minutes and an hour 15. But wow, this is, if you're a ranking nerd, and I am so a ranking nerd, I'm ranking nerd all day. I'm like Revenge of the Ranking Nerd. I'm nerd of the ranking diorama. I am a lover of anything to do with ranking music because, you know, super nerd, it's a super nerd alert kind of a thing. But these guys, wow, incredible. So first of all, you can go to their channel, you can watch that entire ranking series, which is just incredible. Super long. You got probably about 48 hours you can watch worth right there. But right now, currently, they're working on the albums of the year. Again, they started in the early 50s, kind of went up from there. I don't know how far they'll probably go up into about the 2000s. Admittedly, their expertise is within 58 to 2000 and a little beyond. But basically, wow, I've enjoyed the hell out of this channel. The chemistry between Crystal and Tommy and Paul, of course, oh, just legendarily good. Very funny, lots of jokes. In the ranking episodes, they also include commercials from the year that they're ranking, just to kind of add a little bit of additional sort of nostalgia to the mix. Woo! It is perfect. Like I say, they do some fantastic work, and that's why they're my number 3 Vinyl Community Channel of the year, 2023. Yeah, like I say, you like some of their ranking videos, there's a lot of back material that you can watch from them, and it's all very good. Like I say, you can start with the singles, you can start with the albums, they're doing those right now, but as it should be, easily number 3. I pondered maybe having these guys at number 1, but of course, I had to go instead to a couple of other my faves. Number 2, oddly enough, number 2 last year as well. I'm only really taking a point off of this gentleman because, well, to be frank, there wasn't as much material coming from his side of the vinyl community this year. Of course, I'm talking about Harris Pilton. Harris Pilton, lover of the 12-inch single, genius vinyl community, sort of comic vibes, very funny, always has a great tale, a great story behind it, each and every record. Again, Harris Pilton is kind of a must-subscribe, so if you have not subscribed to him, you'll want to check him out. Basically, he does a lot of records from the 70s, 80s, a little bit from the 90s. It's all of a certain period. If you're a Generation X sort of person, that is the sort of business where you'll be like, oh, I'm lapping this up like a new puppy. That's effectively not a slogan that Harris Pilton should ever use, but certainly, it is one of the reasons why he is the number 2 of the year in Craig Danger's top 7 vinyl community channels of the year. So who can that leave us with? Only one number 1. And to be frank, I probably by this time next year, he just might even be in the Legends category, is my sense. Because I can only be speaking of course, John, the 6-inch pianist, soul, funk, reggae, master of the vinyl community. Also does a bit of a pub jukebox show with other VC folks, and it's all just really fun. We're talking about records, we're talking about good times, real strong, real passionate delivery. John from 6-inch Pianist, like I say, I don't expect that he'll be on this top 7 next year. Such is this close to legendary status. Every time I tune in, I learn something interesting, something different. I learn about new artists all the time from him. Admittedly, my reggae knowledge is a little on the weak side. It's, frankly, it's basically drowning in a pool of weak sauce. But thanks to John, I always learn new stuff, particularly about reggae, rocksteady. But again, he does a lot of African stuff. He does jazz. He does funk, soul, all over the place. So many good things he does. He does 45s. I'm not into 45s, but John makes these interesting. And again, one of the legendary things that he does as well is there's a lot of needle drops, much like Lawrence the Mellow Man, of course, the number 4. A ton of needle drops, so you always know just how jamming these tracks are. And you know what? The man can pick out a jam. He absolutely can, which is why he is the number 1 Vinyl Community Channel of the year. So you know what? Let's just, now that we've gone through it, we'll just go through it one more time. just to kind of cap it off the video here. At number 7 this year, we had Moosh, classic channel. Subscribe below. Number 6, Vinyl Community Gunkles. Number 5, Vinyl Monkey. Number 4, Lawrence, the Mellow Man. Number 3, As It Should Be. Number 2, Harris Pilton. Woo, he's a legend. I'm going to be a legend too. And, of course, number 1, John from 6-Inch Pianist. And, again, a variety of shows. He not only does the pub jukebox thing, he also, every once in a while, get together with Mazzy. Obviously, one of the legends in this particular show. And they do, like I say, some really great work together. So, again, thank you for tuning in. I don't know that this is going to be my most popular video this year. I think the likelihood of that is probably pretty low, but I just wanted to go back and kind of take a look at the year and say, hey, these are some incredible channels that if you're a person who enjoys vinyl community channels, which I do, obviously that's why I joined this whole heap. I didn't do it to get paid nothing, that's for sure. I can tell you that, that there's really some great stuff out there. There are way more channels than the ones that I mentioned, but again, for kind of the sake of making a list, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my top 7. I'm going to throw in some legends, and that's all it is. So again, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to me for such fantastic and heavily informed content as this. That's right. It's heavily informed. I watched a lot of hours of these people this year. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see you on the next one.